Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of Old Fiddle's New Life. Um, Tonight we're going to be talking about the Harbor Violin. It's the one that I have scorned many times in my discussion of the three violins that I have. I've said that it is wimpy, etc., etc. And I got to taking a look at it, and I said, I never look at the thing, and I never play the thing. So I look. All I know is that I did a lot of work on this instrument back in. Well, the label is a repair label that it's in it, and it's back in 2008. I did a lot of work on this thing. Matter of fact, when I was going through it tonight and taking a close look at it, I noticed some stuff down inside the instrument. It was a shaving from when I did the pegs. You know how a peg shaver actually shaves off these very, very fine shavings of ebony from the pegs. And one of those very, very fine ebony shavings had gotten down inside the instrument, and it's been there for all these years. Well, anyway, make a long story short, I got to looking at this instrument, and I decided I've never given this a fair shot. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm sticking with my German Strat. I love the old German Strat. But on the other hand, I want to just take an honest look at this, and I want to go through it with you and show you some interesting things. In many respects, this is a finer built instrument than my German Strat. And as a matter of fact, we may go ahead and start with the German Strat and just show you a couple of items, and then we'll go to the Harbor Violin and point out a lot of things about it. This was a nicely built instrument. It was a school instrument that I was doing all the repairs for the school system. And what happened was the kids broke the neck out of it twice. How they managed to do this, I do not know. I mean, it takes effort to break a neck out of an instrument. So, and I replaced it twice. And with all the repairs I'd done on it, they were going to owe me more money than the instrument was worth. So we happened to be moving, so I just hung on to the instrument, and I've had it ever since. But anyway, let's go ahead. We're going to begin by looking at my German Strat. And again, I love this instrument. I'm not giving up on it, but I just want to talk to you about the Harbor Violin for tonight. And as I was playing it for a few minutes before coming to this video, I was wowed by what a beautiful, beautiful, rich low end this has. Just really pretty stuff. Right now, it's got a cheap set of strings on it. Okay, well, let's turn it around. I'm going to show you my German Strat, and then we're going to go look at the Harbor Violin. So here we go. All right, well, here's my lovely German Strat. I want you to notice the fine grain of the spruce here. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Over on the E string side. Now watch this as we come across the tailpiece. Look how wide the grain is. In other words, the G side of the and this is always in two pieces. This is a two-piece top, okay? And they all are, as far as I know. Okay, so you got very, very fine grain over here on the E string side. Very nice. But then you come over here, and boy, look how wide that is. You see that? See that? And it doesn't really get fine until you get to the very, very outside edge over here. And even then, it's not as fine as that over on the E string side. So that's just one telltale that the wood that's put into this was not as nice of quality wood as when it went into this the Harbor Violin that we're going to be looking at. As far as the ribs and back, it's got pretty nice stuff. You know, it's pretty good curly maple, flame maple, whatever. I call it curly maple. Pretty nice. I love my old German Strat. I'm not knocking it. But now we're going to go over to the Harbor Violin. I want to show you a couple things. So let me just shut this off for a minute. Here we are on the Harbor Violin. I want you to look at the striations and the grain on this. All the way across. Hang on. Get it focused in. Look at this. That is sweet. That is some really nice fine grained spruce top. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Okay, since we're on the top, let's go ahead and talk about purfling. These are beautiful B-string purflings. I mean, those are very, very nicely done. Meticulous. Very nice. Get this at a better, oh, there we go. A little better with the light off from it. Okay, there we go. You see it? Just so nice. Now, the problem this instrument has is that it is very susceptible to cracks. And these little cracks at the bottom end of the F hole really are meaningless because they're very, very stable. I don't know if somebody glued them in place a long time ago, but they're very stable. They're not having any kind of functional problem with the instrument at all. They're just very good and solid. Now, this crack right here, when I got out my lovely little mirror here and I went inside the instrument, put a bright light inside there, and sure enough, when I was doing all the work on this back in 2008, I had done a couple of very, very nice, tiny, fine patches on this crack just to stabilize it, and you can't feel it at all. I mean, that's just beautifully smooth. You can see it, but I mean, it's been there for many years, and it's got some other cracks. Nothing here up here, they've got a couple, and I probably patched that too, knowing me. I'm pretty picky about that. There is not a sound post crack. If it were, you would see it right there. So this is good and solid in the center, right where the bridge is. Anyway, oh, by the way, there's that piece of peg shaving right there that I took out. But really lovely stuff. Nice, beautiful craftsmanship. Those bee-sting purflings are just beautiful. The only problem, if you want to call it that, is that over here, these two what is not points, what are the corners? These two corners have definitely taken a beating over the years, and they're not quite all there. You can see, you can look at that, the one closest to the camera with the one down at the bottom on the back of the instrument. You can see how much they've been chipped off over the years. Over here, not as bad. This one is almost perfect here. So you're in pretty good shape with that one. But okay, let's turn it over. All right, curly maple. Actually, not as. Get this up. Oh, my light came out. Here we go. Give me a minute, guys. There we go. Yeah, almost no curl on the ribs. Let's take a look over here. A little bit of curl here. Not that great. On the back, pretty good. Pretty good. And I don't know what's up with this varnish down here, but this is, keep in mind, this is an old instrument, I believe. And you can see the curly maple's all still there, but the varnish is just almost completely gone on the bottom half of the lower bout here. And it goes right up into the center. Anyway, oh, lovely. Look at this. Both the top and the bottom of the back were pinned. Beautifully done. Right on center. You can see it right there. Very nice. All right. Well, I've done some cleaning on it. I'm not done. I'm giving this a second chance to get some playing in. It's a lovely old instrument, and I thought it'd be good to play it a little bit and see how I like it. Again, I'm not giving up on my German Strat, okay? One of the things that's got to be done this evening, though, and I hate to do this because it means I'm going to be taking this all apart. One of the things that's got to be done is that it's just like on my German Strat. I had to take this all apart, took the chin rest off, tailpiece, because that, let's put it up here for you to see. Bring it over here. Okay, you see it right there. Okay, see how long that Saucony adjuster is? Comes right up and over the back and allows the tailpiece to come almost 2 centimeters forward. And when I did the measurements, this is fine here. This is almost 2 centimeters too short. In other words, when you want to reach a maximum resonance in the instrument, it's important that this balance is struck between this. In other words, the distance from here, from the bridge back to that piece, and this tailpiece does have it. That little what I call a fret that goes across there. The distance from and here, would you focus in? There we go. The distance from the top of the bridge to that fret needs to be 1/6 of the total distance that go all the way from the nut to the top of the bridge. Okay, it's not anywhere close. It's almost 2 centimeters too short from here to here, and that's why I'm going to take this all apart, which means I've got to take all the strings off. Not off. I've got to loosen them and get that tail gut. Actually, we've already talked about that. It's called a Saucony adjuster now. And I've got to shorten that Saucony adjuster to bring this tailpiece back those 2 centimeters so that this distance is appropriately 1/6 of that distance there. I hate doing this. I mean, it's nice to just be able to just pick it up and put it under your chin and play. But sometimes there are important things you got to be done, you know. Oh, one more thing I want to do before we do that, though. I want to show you a little thing that I do every night. Okay, so no, this is not Coca-Cola. My wife said, with the kids, back when we had our grandkids here, you better take the label off that. It's obviously an old Coke bottle, right? Well, in the first place, this does not look like Coke. This is denatured alcohol in here. It is exactly what you need when you're cleaning your strings. So denatured alcohol in here, and it says denatured alcohol right across the top here. So what I do, this stays right down below my table where I play violin. And every night I get to, where's my new little square? I've been using the same little square of paper towel for a while now. And so I decided to get myself a new one. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and wet this. You don't need much. You don't need much. Just tip it up. Okay, that's enough. Nice and maybe we'll do one more. Okay, there we go. What we're going to do. I've been playing this evening, so you can see. I hope you can see that. You see the rosin on the strings. So you're just going to tip it up like this. Just go over your strings like that, and then because you don't want to get any of this denatured alcohol on the top of the instrument. It might be bad for your finish. Okay. So what I started doing is going underneath like this, and you can do this fairly easily without endangering the top of the instrument at all. That way it gets over and under, because believe me, when you're dragging the bow across that rosin is not just getting on the top, it's getting all over those strings, over and under. And so anyway, so I just wanted to do that. I'm going to check this and make sure that you actually saw that, because I may have been off camera. If I did, I'm going to redo it. Hang on. Okay, I checked. We're good. Okay, let's get started. And we're right back to using the same tool I used last time with my German Strad. Ooh, hang on. Put the lid on the denatured alcohol. You don't want to spill that stuff. By the way, I love the smell of this. I mean, it's not going to make you drunk or anything, but I do enjoy the smell of that. Okay, let's go ahead and get this chin rest off. I remind you again, be careful when you're doing this that you not use your tool and have it go all the way through these little take up spinner. I don't know what you call them. Anyway, actually they're like little turnbuckles is what they are. Anyway, don't go all the way through to where you actually scratch the back of your instrument. That's not a good thing. Okay, so we're all done with that. Got that off. By the way, this I've already made some adjustments to this. I had to file this because it was rubbing on the tailpiece. You do not want that. Okay, you can get vibrations. It can deaden the sound. Not good. So anyway, one of the reasons I'm redoing this is because I want this adjustment made to the point where when I finally put this back on, I'm going to see if I need to make these pads thicker. I've got some what do you call it? Basically, it's cork, like cork from a wine bottle, and I'll cut a pad of cork to go on this instead of just this little piece of leather, and that'll get it up higher and off from the tailpiece, and we may end up having to do that. Okay, well, here we go. I just got this tuned up tonight and was really enjoying playing it. But all these strings have got to come down in order to take the pressure off that zirconia adjuster. Well, there they go. There they go. We're done. Okay. I generally don't like to take that end peg out, but we might do that. Okay, there we go. We're good. There goes the bridge. Come on out of there. There we go. Okay. Now, what I'm going to try to do, oh, see, I didn't take up hardly any on that. These little adjusters have got to be taken up a lot. So, take one at a time, push it up out of there. Now, these strings are going to come undone. That's just the way of it. Okay, a little bit more. We're good. Let's call it quits right there. I think that's going to work. Yeah, here we go. That's still, I don't know if you can see that. That's still a little bit high. I want that a little bit more back over the saddle. I'm being very picky. Hard time getting the Sorry you can't see this, guys, but I need all the flexibility I can get without having to be paying attention to the camera. Okay, we're getting there. Well, it's better. I'm going to go ahead and do a measurement, and we'll see. I still wanted that tailpiece further back. Look at that. This, I don't like that. Okay. Oh, that's not bad. Not bad. This was at 3, and we're all the way back to 5.2. That's not bad. I think you're supposed to be 5.5, but that's pretty acceptable. I'm gonna because I don't want to take it all apart again. Oh dear. Anyway, yeah. We're gonna just let those strings set for a little while, and I'm gonna do some cleaning on this, and then we're gonna put the chin rest back and tune it back up. But there you go, guys. This is what you got to do. I mean, if you want to set them up right. Like I said, when you, where's my other? I need my other ruler. And you really need your cell phone for calculator on this. Okay, here's your measurement right here. From the nut to the bridge is basically 32 centimeters. And you take the 32, divide it by 6, and you come out with 5.3, I think. Hang on a minute. I want to get that and check it. Okay, hang on. Okay, 32 divided by 6 equals 5.3. What did we say we had? What did we say we had? We're at 5.2. Good enough. Good enough. Close enough. That's all. A lot better. And see, if I back this saddle back up a little bit more onto the saddle, we would be in really, really good shape. But it's close enough. We just picked up 2 centimeters more from the bridge back to this fret that we didn't have before, and that's going to make things resonate a lot better. All right, okay, guys. At this point, that's all the cleaning I'm going to do. I'm going to do everything else with just a piece of paper towel and my Wake violin polish. I'll put the formula for Wake violin polish in this episode. If not this one, at least the next one. But I'll put the formula in it if you want to make some for yourself. I love this stuff. It smells great and it works great. I would strongly suggest if you want a good paper towel for doing cleanup and stuff, get some Viva paper towel. It is so soft. It's almost like having a nice soft cloth. It does a wonderful job. Anyway, just a thought. Okay, I'm gonna get this tuned and I'll get back to you. Okay, just a comment in passing. I've been tuning this, and as I was tuning, I could hear the bridge. You can hear the tension coming on the bridge. What happens is, as you're tuning in your peg box, you're pulling those strings upward. In other words, away from this bridge. What happens is the bridge begins to pitch. Okay, it begins to pitch forward like this. Be careful. Keep an eye on it. If it begins to pitch, what you do, and I'm hesitant to tell you how to do this unless you just be really careful. What you do is go ahead and stabilize the bridge at the bottom and take your fingers and just very gently just pull back, and you can feel it straighten up. I just did that. That's all it took, but there's a lot of tension on this. There's 14 pounds per square inch of pressure going down onto the top of the instrument from the tension of these strings. But anyway, the point is, if you keep an eye on it as you're tuning up and you're getting those strings tighter and tighter, that this bridge is not pitching forward, because if it comes down, it's going to come down with a mighty whap. And I've been told that it's even been known to split a top. I've never seen that. It's never happened to me, but just be careful. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about it, and we'll leave it at that. Okay, I got to finish tuning this. Well, I don't have any cork, but I've already taken quite a bit off from this. This is, let's see if we can get this tuned in here. Okay, right there. Okay, this is where the underside of the chin rest was hitting on the tailpiece. And what I'm doing is slowly but surely taking it off. I've got a very fine file here. And I'm just... I know I've got some more leather, and I could put another layer of leather on here. That would help, but really wanted some cork, because that works like a charm. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to keep taking some of this off. And once I get it off, I'm going to sand it and you're not even probably going to be able to see that a change has been made, but it'll get it off from that tailpiece. I do not want this in any way, shape, or form riding on the tailpiece and causing a buzz or killing the sound. So anyway, that's kind of important stuff. I'm going to keep going on this. I'll show you when we're done. Well, that was enough to do it, guys. I did some sanding, some filing and sanding and so forth, and basically managed to pivot the take-up adjusters here enough to where everything is settled over just a little bit more, and I can now slide paper in between, so there's plenty of clearance there now. It's not going to be rubbing or buzzing or anything like that, so we're good to go. Okay, problem solved. Let's move on. I want to make sure that everything's tuned up, and then we may play for a few minutes. And that was on the Harbor violin. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let that wrap up this particular video of Old Fiddle's New Life. I've been playing the Harbor violin a lot to try to get used to it, because there's a lot of things I don't like about it. I'm not fond of some of the tone, particularly on the A and the E. The G and the D, pretty good. You got some pretty nice depth on the lower end. But anyway, I've been back and forth between my German Strat and the Harbor violin, and I'm coming right back to my German Strat because I definitely like the tone a little better. But the point is, that Harbor violin, when it's fixed up, and particularly when it gets a new set of strings, I'm convinced that's a big part of why, and especially when I started playing it, it had a shrillness to the A and the E, and that I just didn't like. And anyway, so we'll see. Anyway, so welcome. Glad you guys are here, and come on back to another episode of Old Fiddle's New Life. This one's been kind of interesting, as I've finally opened my mind and decided to take a second look at the old Harbor violin. And it's not quite as bad as I keep saying. I keep saying it's a wimpy violin. Not so much, you know. Anyway, listen, guys, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this. And let me know how things are going for you guys, and you're playing and everything. What songs are you learning? I'm working on two things right now. That one I just played is let's see, I believe that's Southwind, and I've been also learning the Sky Boat Song. I've been learning those two. Really going back to some old fiddle songs Irish fiddle songs, and trying to learn them. So hope you guys will register a comment, give me a thumbs up if you like what you got seeing over here on Old Fiddle's New Life. And again, thanks for stopping by. Catch you later.